Today I have with me Marilyn Manning from Payroll Vault. Payroll Vault is just an outstanding service for you folks out there who are looking to maybe add on to some business that you're already doing, or want a standalone business, or maybe you're running a business already and you need payroll services. So many different aspects of Payroll Vault. But Marilyn, I'll let you take it away. Give us a little background on you, your involvement in franchising, and then kind of a brief overview of Payroll Vault.
Sounds great, Greg. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this and teaching folks out there that are wanting to learn entrepreneurship. Going through a wonderful consultant like Greg Mohr is a fantastic opportunity for you. So learning about different franchises, franchising industry is just such an incredible industry. If you're looking to want to be, the proverbial in business for yourself, but not by yourself, there's so many great options that are out there. My start in franchising actually was in 2008 when our very first Payroll Vault office was born, our founding office here in Littleton, Colorado. And I come from a background of business ownership. My husband and I actually are founders of Payroll Vault. And so he is a CPA, owned an accounting firm, and decided to separate payroll from his accounting firm. A lot of accountants offer payroll service, but I'll tell you a secret, most accountants don't like payroll. And so we do. And so we kind of launched into the accounting space when we ended up developing Payroll Vault into a franchise offering in the fall of 2012. And so we have been doing this for several years and love franchising. The business of franchising is really amazing because there's so many great people in the business, and it's really a business about business. And so Payroll Vault, I've been with it, as I say, from the beginning, so I know what it takes to start a business. It took us to get the founding office on the national map and being a great contender with some of our competition out there. You probably have heard of companies like ADP and Paychex and things like that. In fact, we love taking their clients, just saying. But we got on the national map. It took us 4 years and about $300,000 and many, many man and woman hours in there to get this business launched. And so that's how we got the business up and running. We ended up franchising in the fall of 2012. And so we're growing across the United States. We've got dozens and dozens of locations across the United States. My role with Payroll Vault is I'm our director of franchise development. And so I speak with all you folks out there that are wanting to learn about Payroll Vault and what we do. This is really a business. It's a business to business. How's that? So it is in the arena of a lot of people that would like to get into this type of business. It's recurring revenue, a scalable business model. It's payroll, I get that, but it's actually a very fun business. It's an active business as well too. And so our franchisees are very engaged in their local business community. Our focus is small business, and that's where we found that there was a very underserved market for payroll service with small businesses. And so when you look out there, actually about over 90% of business worldwide is small business. And so that's what we tap into and helping to support those folks. This is an industry that is ever changing, of course, with all of the things that are happening at lightning speed with the pandemic that we're in right now and things like that. Everything has been affecting payroll. And so what we do is definitely an essential service. Fully remote operating systems. You can run this business from your house if you'd like. We don't require retail build out, so that is a lot of savings with that. You don't even have to have an office. You can even have, Greg, you can even have remote working employees. And so lends to definitely the changes that we've seen in the business marketplace, but it's an industry that will never go away. It transcends all industries that have employees, but again, our focus on small businesses. And so we know what we do is a very critical service for small business owners. Payroll is in the top 3 most outsourced services by business owners overall. And so definitely an industry that you want to give a look at and see what we do. And quite honestly, in the industry of franchising, There's nobody else out there doing what we're doing to the level that we're doing it, for sure. And so we're members with the International Franchise Association. Sean, beyond his CPA, he is a CFE, so he's a certified franchise executive. We have our own listing in the IFA's directory of franchise businesses. Imagine there's thousands of franchises out there. And there we are, Payroll Vault, business service, payroll business services, Payroll Vault. We have our own listing in the IFA directory. And so we're very active. Networking is the #1 way to grow a business, especially if you're looking at business to business services. And truly, I tell people, any business that you're going to start or buy or what have you, you're the face of your business. And so it is in who you know and who knows you. So the #1 way to grow any business is by active networking. So our franchisees are engaged very much locally in their business communities. They're working, joining their local chambers of commerce, different groups, associations, places where they have the opportunity to network and to build their Payroll Vault business.
Perfect. So what kind of support system? How do you help your franchisees once they get everything going? They've gone through your training. What kind of support systems do you have to get them out there in front of the right people?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question. I think that's what a lot of folks that are starting a business are concerned with. Oh gosh, if I'm going to buy this business, then are these people really going to be around to help me? Absolutely. What we do, especially at Payroll Vault, I mean, we're dealing with people's money. So we want to make sure you know what the heck you're doing, right? And so making sure that we have you trained. Our initial owner training, we say initial because it's really about an ongoing and learning about this industry and the software and all the nuances that come with businesses in terms of their payroll and in employee management. Besides payroll, I do want to mention that we're a full service payroll company. And so beyond payroll, we also offer human capital management, or a little gentler way to say that, workforce management services in what we do. So time and attendance and scheduling, human resources, pay-as-you-go workers' comp, labor posters, background checks, drug screenings, et cetera, et cetera. Our franchisees also offer that and do make additional revenue on that in terms of being a full service payroll company. And so in terms of the support, then our initial owner training is 3 days. We run that virtually as well as our discovery days. We've converted over to that, and it's gone exceptionally well for our franchisees and for our team. We always welcome you to come out to Denver and visit with us here if you'd like to meet our corporate team in person, see our founding Payroll Vault office, and see what that system looks like. You're always welcome to come here, but our training is done virtually. And then beyond our training, then we have it's about a 60 to 90 day startup with the business. And during that time, then you're learning how to process payroll. You're working directly with our onboarding team, with our trainers. I would say probably at least your first 20 clients that you would bring on to your Payroll Vault, our trainers are right there with you, helping you get them set up into the system, helping you run the first payrolls, getting the reports afterwards and making sure everything's transferred great with the whole system of the processing and the payroll. And so beyond that and getting you started in your business, then ongoing support, I think, is also really, really important. So we absolutely have that. We have our monthly owners call. So our CEO, our founders on the call every month with our owners in updating them on things that are happening in the marketplace, in the industry, initiatives we're working on as well, and keeping that communication line wide open for our franchisees. We also have every other week a sales call and then a marketing call, so kind of dividing those in two, and then helping to support our franchisees from their sales and marketing efforts. We do have then ongoing with the operational support with our trainers working with you. And we also have an extraordinary collaboration of our franchisees. And so we have an intranet that is through our CRM system, which is kind of an email chat that if somebody has a question or a problem or needs some support with something, they can get into, it's called the buzz, and get into the little buzz and write down, an email, and then that will alert all of our offices. And then whomever has, maybe let's say you get in a client in kind of an obscure industry and not very common to do payroll for that type of business or something like that. The franchisee could write in, hey, I just got a new client in, PDQ industry or whatever it is, and I want to know if anybody else out there has set up a client for payroll. Could you give me a hand? Those franchisees that have done that, because we have very, very seasoned franchisees that have been with us for many, many years since we started the company, would reach out to them, and or our trainers would also reach out to them, our operations support team here at the corporate office, and would help them with that. So amazing collaboration with our franchisees, and they're an incredible group of people. I'm honored to work with our franchisees every single day. And we've won lots of awards too, Greg, based on our franchisees. The Franchise Business Review is an independent company that surveys franchisees for their satisfaction. Payroll Vault is ranked again in the top performing franchisees in that of the top performing top 50. I can't get this out today. The top 50 franchisees, top performing franchises with happy franchisees. And so I think that's really important. Everybody wants to talk to the franchisees when they start looking at franchising. We want you to also, okay? But we want to do it when you're more educated. And so in the interim, our company participates with Franchise Business Review, and we also provide for our franchisees that survey report that comes out so they can see how happy our franchisees are. So again, we've ranked in the top 200 and the Entrepreneur Franchise 500. We've been in that top innovative franchise, top low cost franchise, lots of awards and accolades for Payroll Vault in the industry of franchising and beyond, in accounting and in payroll industry as well. We've won some very nice awards. So lots of support. We have 2 conferences a year that we do too. We have our owners exchange conference. And so our franchise owners all get together at that conference. It's actually kind of franchisees led. I mean, our executive team is there, of course, but our franchisees have that opportunity then to network with each other, share best practices, collaborate, those kinds of things during that 2.5-day conference. And then we have our annual national conference hosted back here. I say everybody comes home to Colorado. We have our conference here in Denver, and welcome everyone back here. And that's done in the summertime, so it's a lovely time to come to Colorado. And then we have all of our vendor partners, our franchisees. If they have staff or team that are working with them, they'll attend too. So lots of learning, training, and support that will go to help our new franchisees and our ongoing franchisees with this great business that we offer.
Wow, that's a lot of nice stuff, getting everybody together and everybody working together. And I know for a fact, since Marilyn and I have placed somebody together into the Payroll Vault, that talking with franchisees is just amazing. Listening to them, my person that we put in there was just absolutely stunned by the amount of camaraderie that they saw in there. So definitely, I can attest to it. Great system. Good. So what for your franchisees? What's the background of your franchisees, and or is there anybody in particular that you're looking for?
Well, and that's a great question too. So this business really, I know I mentioned kind of the accounting space when we started the conversation, Greg. We actually kind of started in that space. I will say to date now, probably about 25% of our franchisees are folks that have an existing accounting firm and have added Payroll Vault to their portfolio. The majority of our franchisees come from a wide variety of backgrounds. And so we've got folks from military, engineering, corporate, retail. Maybe they might have some financial or bookkeeping or payroll experience or things like that. But truly, everything that we do is very teachable skills for the new franchisee. And so I would say I've had that question posed to me before. If I look for one aspect that I think is important to be, a good quality for this type of business, but I'm going to generalize and say for any business, having really good people skills is really important. And so this is a business that's a relationship driven business. If you buy a Payroll Vault and you just hang the shingle, and expect people to beat your door down for payroll service. It doesn't happen. So this is in the who you know and who knows you. Networking, as I mentioned, very important to get out and network for your business. We do have, though, a full social media program for our franchisees. Obviously, that's important to have your brand present with that. They'll have a website for their location as well. And so, for the franchisees, I would say people too. So maybe if they don't have all those people skills, if they can find somebody that would have the people skills to help them to build the business, that's a plus for that too. Maybe they have great attention to detail. They're more on the operations side. It just depends. I have a franchisee, honestly, right now that comes from corporate background. He has no sales and marketing experience at all. In fact, that whole aspect of it terrified him, but he loved our business model. And so he came on board with us and he went through our training. I'm actually one of our trainers too. So I do teach on all those soft skills, and I've done speaking and taught audiences for years on how to build their personal professional brand through networking. So he came through our training program and we found his inner salesman. It was in there. He's now one of our fastest growing franchisees in the history of our company. And so it can absolutely be done. I think people need to know too, what you put into anything that you do is what you're going to get out of it. So we do look for owner operator, mostly for the business, or if it is an existing business owner. So let's say, for example, like a multi-unit franchise owner. Maybe they own 5 different restaurants or 20 or 100 or whatever it is, a multi-unit owner. Great opportunity for them to take the expense of payroll and to turn that into a revenue. So some fun things that you can do with this business as well, and to grow it as a business. And then they can call on their other colleagues with their other franchise brand to be offering payroll services too. So we do have some franchisees that fall into that category also. And then people with existing businesses, so beyond franchising, maybe they have an insurance agency or an accounting firm, or however, like I mentioned, I mean, it can go into quite a bit of diversity in terms of people with business ownership and experience. Then they can add that to their portfolio. This is a business they'll want to be on top of at the beginning, because they'll need to know how to do all aspects of the business, just like anything. All right. Then they can grow into semi-absentee if they have a team, people in place to work for them, and then to full absentee. And that's how, when we started Payroll Vault, we were hands on deck, hired people on as we grew the business, and then could separate away from that. So that's kind of what we think about in terms of, the ownership model and what we've seen good success with our franchisees as well.
Perfect. So somebody wants to get involved with this. What, on a daily basis, what are they looking at? They get up in the morning. What happens? What do they do? What's a day in the life?
Yeah, the day-to-day. Sure, day-to-day of a franchisee. That's always a good question too, because people want to, well, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to buy this business, then what am I supposed to do? I will say in the beginning, obviously, if they don't have a book of business to start tapping into, then you're going to be out there networking and meeting people and building that book of business. So I'll even tell people on the first call that I have with them, if they're even remotely interested in our business opportunity, to start thinking about who do they know that owns businesses. So we go into friends, family, colleagues, neighbors, people you went to school, you know what I mean? And so you look into that immediate network and then start talking to people about payroll. Actually, you'll be amazed at what they'll tell you. Now, I've sold accounting also. That's a tough sell. Everybody loves their accountant. They don't want to tell you nothing. I was still good at it. But anyway, with payroll, I have met people on airplanes, foreign countries, bouncing around in, swimming pools in Mexico resorts, I mean, grocery stores, funerals. I mean, let's just say, it's really about getting out there and building up that network of people. And then we also teach our franchisees how to build what we call a referral partner network. And so that's seeking out other business professionals that share the same client profile that we do here at Payroll Vault. So accountants, insurance agent, financial advisor, 401k folks, benefits brokers, human resources, etc. They're all calling on the same type of client that we are calling on. And actually, this business puts you into that same professional arena as those types of people too, without having to have accreditation or school or certification or anything like that. You don't have to be certified to do this business. And so, but building up a network, a referral partner network with referral partners, and then we reciprocate business with each other. So our franchisees that have had great success with their business have a really strong referral partner network. And so when we sit down with a prospect for our service, we will go through a checklist and we'll ask them, do you have, a banker, a lawyer, an accountant, insurance agent, etc. If we find that need, then we send that lead to our referral partner. And on the flip of that, they're sending payroll clients our way also. And so it's a great way to really build the business. And like I said, our franchisees, I know our director of business development for the founding Payroll Vault office, about 80% of his new business comes directly from his referral partners. So that's a key strategy. So they're going to be out networking on a regular basis, meeting people, building that referral partner network. And then always, I tell people, you can get out there, you can shake hands or touch elbows or whatever the heck we're doing in this day and age. But the key in the success of a sale is in the follow-up. And so following up with everybody that you meet, we have an email marketing newsletter that we produce every month for our franchisees in-house, that they can go in and they can put their contact information on that newsletter and then send that out to their database. So they're building that database also, and then using that drip email marketing, and then, having stuff, published on LinkedIn and interesting articles and things like that. People ask me like Facebook. Facebook is very much more of that social consumer type of medium. We're on it. We do stuff on that, but our franchisees are more about promoting maybe their clients on Facebook, kind of more like one of our franchisees. They're in a very small market, and so they'll stop at one of their clients that's a restaurant and show the chalkboard with what's on the menu today at Daisy's Diner or something like that, and help promote those clients and things like that. But more of a social thing, or if we're going to be participating at a conference or something, that kind of thing. Most people aren't going to go to Facebook and go, "Ooh, I need a payroll company. I'm going to look on Facebook." It's not going to be, but more like LinkedIn, things like that we'll see those aspects. We're on channels, Twitter, Instagram, and whatever is out there. We do promote Payroll Vault and our franchisees, promoting our franchisees through our social media as well too. So the day-to-day is really about building the relationships. And then once you get a client on board, that's always very exciting for us here when our franchisees get their first client. Then it's, scheduling when their payrolls are going to run. Most companies run their payroll every other week or weekly, that kind of thing. And then let's say you have a client that's going to run on Thursday, so Wednesday you're checking reports, what clients are running on Thursday. And then when you run the payroll for the client, this is what's really cool about this business too. Greg, there's no accounts receivable. There's no credit cards. There's no inventory. You get paid when you run the payroll. So this is actually really a wonderful part of this business model that is exciting to share too. So the money will come from, the employer, the business owner's account. It's going to flow through an ACH account, which is why we do ask for the criteria of our franchisees, that they have, a net worth around $250,000. We do look for liquidity of about $100,000. You have to have U.S. citizenship and you've been filing taxes in the U.S. We can work with a green card. We can't have any bankruptcy under 10 years. And we require that you do not have any legal issues that would prohibit you from owning and operating a financial services business. So those are the criteria for that. that's why we have those questions. Some of the main questions are up front with our prospective franchise owners, and that way that they know that, I mean, it's a serious business of what we do. And so being able to qualify for that ACH account, flowing the money for those clients, and then the money gets dispersed through that account to the employees, and you collect your fees as it goes through. So it's a wonderful system and part of what we do here at Payroll Vault. So really, it's systems that talk to systems through the software and things like that. There is the humanness to it of getting data input into the payroll system. Let's say you have a business and they have all of their employees. Well, we have apps and onboarding tools and things like that, where the employee would be uploading their information into the software. And then when it comes time to run payroll, then that employer is saying, okay, there's no changes with this, that, and the other. The employees, they push the button that talks to the payroll software. We run the payroll, client and their employees get paid. And so it sounds simplistic, but again, it is a business. It's a very serious business in what we do, but it's vital to every business. I like to tell people, Greg, that actually payroll is the center of the business universe. So when you think about it, it affects everything. And so making what we do really, really critical to the success of the business. And, getting clients, I tell people too, that if you have a business owner that's already outsourcing their payroll, let's say that they're using, one of the big box brands or their accountant or whoever, if they're outsourcing their payroll, you're 50% there on gaining the business for that client, because they're already, if you will, smart enough to be outsourcing their payroll. We have all the sales and marketing strategies to help win that business and move it over to Payroll Vault. If you have the folks that are in their do-it-yourself mode, oh gosh, we just have 5 employees, not a big deal. My wife does it on QuickBooks. It only takes her 6 to 8 hours every other Sunday to do the payroll. There's a lot of risk that comes with that do-it-yourself mode, because the changes in compliance and legislation, even with minimum wage and all of those things changing, it's really hard for a business owner to stay on top of that. We stay on top of that, and then we help to support them. We help business owners be more successful. That's really what we do here at Payroll Vault. And if you put us into a nutshell, we are a boutique style, full service payroll company designed for small business. That's really who Payroll Vault is. The nice thing that our clients, and when I say clients, I'm talking about the business owners that we provide service for, what they love is that everything stays local. They're working directly with the franchise owner, their team, and working in that local business community. And so there's no overseas call centers, processing centers. That's what our competition has. And that's what some of our clients have experienced. And that's why they're happy to join with Payroll Vault, knowing that they will have somebody to answer the phone if they have a question. They're not sitting on hold in a call center overseas, waiting for hours on end to get an answer to a question that may get answered that day. Sometimes it's weeks or months even to get a question answered from our big box competition. So the local aspect of it, working in the communities, is great. Our franchisees do have a territory also. And so it's a kind of a marketing territory that we define that as. We have lots of availability across the US. It's a 10,000 businesses in a contiguous geographic area. Inbound leads. So if somebody goes on to payrollvault.com, they want to request a quote for service, and that lead zip code lands in that franchisee's territory, then that lead will go to that Payroll Vault office. When I say office, franchise unit, location means the same. All right. So they have a marketing territory. They have 10,000 businesses to call on. We also have a company that will give them the hard data of those businesses that are in their territory. But the nice thing about this business, Greg, is that because it's a relationship-driven business, these franchisees can provide payroll service to anyone across the United States. So even if, and I know some people don't fall out of your chair on me today, but even if they are located in another franchisee's territory, because they have that relationship. And so let's say they have a buddy here in Denver, right? I have 8 franchisees currently in the greater Denver metro area, but this new franchisee's friend owns a business here in Denver. They can service that client. Let's say they bring on a client and that client expands to 6 different states. They will manage all of the payroll for that client of theirs in those different locations. And so anywhere across the United States means that you can really scale this business from just one location. So lots of opportunities here at Payroll Vault to grow an awesome business. Again, recurring revenue in a fantastic business model that we know is successful. We have all the systems, strategies, training in place to help our franchisees to their success. The success piece is up to the franchisee, and we'll help them get there.
Excellent. That is wonderful. So whether it's a standalone business, add on to your existing business, or if you're out there in the audience and you need payroll services, go to payrollvault.com and sign up. Or how else can they get a hold of you?
Sure, they're welcome to reach out to me directly. So payrollvaultfranchise.com. So payrollvault.com is our client-facing website, but going over if you want to, and you can connect from there to the franchise website, but payrollvaultfranchise.com will get you to our website, which has a ton of information on it, including our frequently asked questions. It gives you more information about like the territory and criteria for ownership of the business, our press and blog. There's lots of information on there. There is a form on there that you can fill out, and that will come directly to my desk and I can chat with you there. Or you're welcome to reach out to me at marilyn.manning@payrollvault.com. You can email me directly. Love to visit with you.
Marilyn, that's wonderful. A lot of good things. And I can tell you for sure, my client talked to all the franchisees that they could, and they're definitely happy franchisees out there at Payroll Vault.
You bet.
Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it, Marilyn.
My pleasure, Greg. Thanks. Always great doing business with you.
You too.